Welcome to another episode of Candid Convos. Today's guest is Louis Scott. Louis is the managing partner of Bader Scott Injury Lawyers and founder of Eight-Figure Firm Consulting. He helps law firms turn into law businesses that run on their own and deliver predictable revenues and profits to the law firm owners so that they can earn more, work less, and live on their terms. In the past 2 years, you've helped over 24 firms grow by 7 figures or more per year, and many more by multiple 7 figures.
Well, thank you for having me on. I'm looking forward to today's conversation.
Well, let me jump right in. I gotta ask, how? How did you manage to build two successful business like that? I understand that one helps a lot to understand the other one, but I imagine there must be some like core differences between them. On one end, you market or you head your business towards people, and on the other one, you may do this exclusively for lawyers or law firms. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, here's the thing about building any kind of business. I believe, especially in a service-based business, the principles for building service-based businesses don't change, in my opinion, because people are people. And something that you'll find in my new book that I just released, The King of Growth, people are predictable. And predictability is what lets us tap in to this ecosystem of building our firms and this ecosystem of generating wealth. And so what I did over the last 20 years, I didn't realize that I was doing this, was I was actually studying people, and I was realizing that there were trends in the way that people behaved. And now what I've done is I've taken those trends and I've reduced them down to principles and steps that you can use to tap into that predictability and sell a product or a service that benefits the community. And I think that that is what allows us to have these dual types of businesses: one a law firm, direct to consumer; one a consulting business, direct to the business owner, and still have a similar outcome of success, because people are people, regardless of whether they're the consumer or they are the entrepreneur.
I got this question. This podcast is mainly targeted for lawyers that are looking to grow their own firm, and they are looking to do it by learning from other lawyers' best practices. And with you, it's a 2-for-1. Like, we got a two for someone that grew their law firm successfully, and someone that helps law firms grow. I've seen your media out there. You recommend when to get a COO. You recommend different things, mainly on the 8-figure firm. So I know it's a big of a long shot here, but is there a way you can talk us into how was your process or your growth process like a little bit of your journey on how you came to be who you are today?
So yes, I mean, the short story is that I started in the legal industry as an intern, and working for a judge, and he gave me a 3-month internship, and I decided that I wanted to be a lawyer and that I could do this. And so I ended up working as a receptionist for a law firm in my local area as an undergrad at the University of West Georgia. I worked at that company for 15 years. And in that time period, I learned a lot of things about growing a firm, and we grew it to multiple 7 figures. We ended up parting ways, and I started my own firm, the Scott Law Firm. In about 5 months, I was already generating a run rate of over 7 figures. And I knew that I had some kind of skill set that was very unique, because now I had helped a couple of businesses grow to 7 figures. And so my business partner today, he asked if we wanted to work together. We had been friends for a couple of years, and I just wanted to make sure that I could add value, and that I could have unlimited earning potential working with him. And we were able to work it out. And we started working with about 23 employees. We are now 175 employees and contractors. And in that process, in that time period, what I call the 20-year period of time, I wrote 2 books. One of them is called The 9 Principles of Exponential Growth, and then the second book called The King of Growth, which is how to be unstoppable in your market and unleash the power of your law firm for personal financial freedom. And those 2 books are the culmination of what I've learned in law firm growth, and they tell in more detail my story of trial and error and success, but also gives the recipe for growing your business. And the 9 essentials, the 9 principles, excuse me, is really one part of what I call the 999 plan, which is 9 principles, 9 essentials, and 9 pillars. And that those 27 things are the things that help you grow your business. But I learned this through growing 3 firms to 7 figures and above, and one of them being multiple 8 figures. And now, as an 8 figure firm consultant, I've helped over a dozen firms do multiple 7 figures, and 4 of them are going to reach the 8 figure mark in the next 12 months. So like, we're really excited about seeing people actually fulfill our mission, which is to help 100 law firms reach 8 figures and more. So.
Okay. Wow. I'm kind of a little bit speechless. It's 20 years in a nutshell. Uh, did you ever imagine when you were in that internship with that judge, or you were working as a receptionist, did you ever imagine like 20 years in the future you'd be able to accomplish something like this? Were you aiming at this, or did it just like happen?
I not only did I not imagine that I'd be able to do this and help other firms do this, it was never even part of my dream. I didn't even know that I had a love for teaching until I was in my late 30s, and I realized how much I just enjoy teaching and seeing the light bulb go off in somebody else's head where they finally clicks for them and they go, I got it. Now I understand what I have to do next. And so, no, it was not part of my vision. My actual vision, which is yet to be materialized, or my vision for myself, which has not been materialized, is I want to be a nationally renowned public speaker, because I love speaking on stage. And so that's the piece of my life, which is interesting because most people come to me and they go, you've achieved this great success and you have this big business and you have this, we're doing multiple millions of dollars in 2 businesses now. But that's not what I want for my life. I actually want to be a public speaker. So I'm building what I call the street credibility, the street cred, so that I can go out and become a public speaker. And that's what I really envisioned. But this is clearly part of that process and that journey. So I'm enjoying it in the meantime.
So let's just take your standard law firm, because this is also for lawyers that are striving for that growth and striving for that bettering themselves. How could a standard law firm, in your eyes or from your point of view, arm themselves the best way they can, or to the best of their abilities, to grow even further, to become a successful and stable law firm?
It's kind of it's a complicated question because everybody's firm is in a different place. So some people have hiring problems, some people have operational problems, some people have financial problems, some people have lead problems, some people have sales problems, some people have production problems. It could be like so many things. So everybody's journey is going to be different when it comes to growing their business. But what I can say is that if I had to narrow it down to one thing, I would say planning.
Mm-hmm.
I think people don't plan. And so, and planning isn't just wishing for the future. Planning is putting together a set of documents that I believe create the foundation of your business. And those documents are your company goals, your initiatives, your marketing plan, business plan, and budget. If you don't have company goals, if you don't have initiatives, if you don't have a marketing plan, if you don't have a business plan, if you don't have a budget, it's going to be very, very hard for you to strategize for the future. And I read this recently, and it's the visionary, the true leader, is the one that knows how to do strategy. And strategy is when you can create something out of nothingness. So when there's nothing to do, the person who knows strategy knows what to do next. Whereas the follower or the manager or the person who's not a leader, who's not a visionary, that person is only going to do that which they know to do. So they're only going to do the things that are already been created. And so if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to grow your law firm, you have to be a strategist. You have to be a visionary. You have to be willing to create the plan out of nothing. You have to see the plan, write it down, and then execute on a plan that didn't exist before you came up with it. And that's much more difficult, but that is the key to scaling your business. So when I see a firm, like a firm that I'm working with now, who's been with me just 14 months, has already grown 300% and is likely going to grow 1,000% in 30 months. That person had great vision. That person had great planning, and they've stuck to their planning and they've executed on their planning. And so the key to growth is planning, but the catalyst for that growth is implementation. So the key is to plan, the catalyst that actually gets it moving is the implementation. And that's what I would recommend.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that advice. We have it on record. We're going to use it a lot. We're going to spread the word. And I can see where that savviness for public speaking comes in. Like, honestly, I do see it in there. Now, as you know, we are a virtual staffing company for lawyers. And staffing also comes into place when we talk about growth. In what part of the process would you advise someone to consider either virtual staffing or just regular staffing?
Well, virtual staffing, I'll just speak specifically about virtual staffing. I mean, anytime you need staffing in general is should be done out of two reasons. One is anticipation of need and need. So you're either anticipating need, so you're staffing, or you have a need and you're staffing. If you're in the growth process, you should have both. You should have both a need and an anticipation of need. And so whether you choose traditional or virtual staffing depends on what the need is. And for us, what we have found is with virtual workers, and we have several, is that the administrative task and things that don't require in-person contact are great for virtual. And so we recommend a lot of virtual with our members who are clients of ours, because many of them have just a tremendous amount of back-end administrative work that doesn't require client contact. It doesn't require physical presence. And why not find the best of the best in the world through virtual talent? So to me, it's all about need. Do you need a person? If you need an office manager who's cleaning the office, it's very difficult to hire somebody who's from another country who's not going to come into your office, right? So you first have to analyze need or anticipate need, and then ask, can someone who is not physically present do the job? And if so, then I would go the virtual route.
So, Luis, I'd like to thank you very much for your time. Unfortunately, we just ran out of it. But again, everything that you said, I know it's going to be incredibly helpful for people out there. Just one more thing, so we can also make sure that everybody gets it. Can you let people know where they can find you and what you can do for them?
Oh, absolutely. And thank you for asking that. They can find us at afigurefirm.com. And we help law firms turn into law businesses by creating predictability in both their lead generation, their marketing, their production, and then ultimately their profitability. So if you're looking to grow your law firm and you're looking to really scale, we're only looking for law firms who are interested in 8 figures in revenue. If that's you, then we're interested in helping you get there. And we have a plan. It's called our 999 plan that will help you scale your business in 18 to 24 months.
Thank you very much, Luis. Thanks everybody for tuning in. That was it for today. See you in another episode of Candid Convos.